Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 2007. This is a random SmackDown in June.
It's not a random SmackDown.
The hottest show
Tucker,
ever.
tonight, The Undertaker, Batista, Steel Cage match. And I'm realizing now, I know we've just started the episode, we've given one of those two a promo, but not the other guy. And the other guy's the guy I had a promo for. But oh well. Steel Cage match for the World Heavyweight Championship. These two men have gone at it all summer. And tonight, we might just find that they settle their differences. This is one of the benefits of the new format, the SNME format, is that sometimes I think we have the room and the space to bring you occasional highlight episodes of the TVs. And this is the very first, I think, TV that's ever been broadcast here on Silly Tuck from this series. But it's not, don't get used to it. It's not going to happen that often. He says, I'm pretty sure we're going to show a Raw in a couple weeks' time. But it is something that I pitched to Tucker as part of the benefits of the SNME format. And it's something we can do every now and then. Just to be very clear, this will not be charged on Patreon whenever we do the TVs. At least, I guess I didn't talk about this with Tucker, but I think you'll agree. Whenever we do the TVs, it won't count as a Patreon video.
Yeah, no, because, you could get this. You could go and go over to Matsudaira VODs right now and see us book this thing.
Or Matsudaira on Twitch.
But do it after this, because it'll ruin it.
That's true.
It'll ruin it. You gotta trust me on this one.
Yeah, these do sort of serve as a free preview of the kinds of shows you could be watching on a weekly basis over a match. Because actually, I enjoy the pay-per-views and stuff, but I think there's an argument to be made that the best parts of this show, the series, really are on the TVs.
It's very loud. I dropped a thing and the whole thing went red. I saw it on my... Sorry, everybody. I definitely agree, though. Honestly, I feel like the TVs are...
There's some hidden gems. This Raw, in fact, the Raw we just did on this stream it was being hailed as one of the better Raws of the year as well. So,
by me,
they're and someone in chat.
Let's go.
So yeah, anything else you want to talk about with SmackDown? Like, where are we? Is there any storylines you want to go over with people? Anything other than Taker Batista that we want to cover here on SmackDown, or do you want to just dive right into it?
Yeah, I was going to touch a little bit on... So we're in Portland, Oregon. This is the start of SmackDown's West Coast tour, really the company's West Coast tour. But regardless, Taker and Batista have been going at each other all year. Teddy Long wanted a big hot match to open up this West Coast tour. And so tonight, Steel Cage, Taker defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Batista. We've got a Cruiserweight title match on the docket. In a tag team match last week, Brian Kendrick pinned Roderick Strong, which gave him a title opportunity. And that's what you'll see to open up the show. It's literally the very next segment on this.
Because we start with wrestling here on SmackDown.
Yep. And I think that's it for everything announced. Anything else can kind of just be explained, I think, as we go through the angles and whatnot.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Cruiserweight title on the line. Strong Kendrick. Let's do it.
Nice. Nice, quick, brisk and exciting cruiserweight match between someone we've gotten used to in the tag team division, Brian Kendrick. We know all about him, and someone actually we've gotten quite used to lately in Roderick Strong as well. Two strong cruiserweights kicking off our Western tour, showing the kind of action that you can only get here on Friday nights.
Yeah, these two are pretty much going straight from the starting point. They've wrestled in tag matches. Throughout the winter of last year. And so there's some familiarity there. There's no feeling out in this one. They just go for it. And Roddy gets his best shot in before Kendrick can. And still.
Yep. And still.
Moving on.
Gregory Helms is backstage with Josh Matthews, who asks him, what the future holds for Greg Helms. And he says, Josh, last week was a bit strange, but I'm sort of putting that behind me, and I'm looking forward. There's so many opportunities here on SmackDown. I still weigh enough that I could be part of the Cruiserweight division. I could still go after Montalvo and Tavius Porter, The Undertaker. There's so many opportunities here on SmackDown, and I've spent a long time getting in my own head about being negative. It's about time we look at the positive. And then the lights start flickering. It's like, what the hell's going on? And
It's
then
the Undertaker.
Yeah, it's the Undertaker responding to his challenge. The Minitron goes static, and then there's a strange man holding a clock. And he says, Gregory Helms, time's up for you. I'm coming to get ya. And he smashes the clock on his head, and then a random face-painted man appears in the interview booth and just beats the ever-loving shit out of Gregory Helms and smashes his head against the Minitron.
It's a random face-painted man. We've seen the Boogeyman multiple times before.
Yeah, but he's not overnight. He's not recognizable. He's unimportant. So
right.
we don't know who he is.
Who is this man? Moving on. Last week, Mr. Kennedy was eating fish, which horrified Shark.
After his loss of SNME.
Yeah, he was eating fish, and that horrified Shark. This week, Shark has collected Kennedy, and sat him down in front of a projector as he takes him through fish sensitivity training, as he teaches him the core tenet to living life truly free, and that is that fish are friends and not food. And Mr. Kennedy thinks this whole thing is funny as fuck. That Shark cares at all about what he's eating or fish. I'm sure the fish are very concerned about your career, Mr. Shark. Like fucking this guy over here, am I right?
Yeah, Kennedy wasn't aware of what he was doing, but now that he finds it absolutely fucking hilarious. He actually asks Shark whether he could introduce him to some of his tasty cousins.
Oh my.
Then he walks off and Shark's like, you'll pay for this. Batista, tonight, inside 4 steel walls, our rivalry comes to an end. And just like at WrestleMania 23, and just like at SNME, you will rest in peace. And then we don't have a Batista interview, but, caged animal. You're not locked in. I'm not locked in there with you, Taker. You're locked in there with me.
Sabu is in the ring. He's requested a tables match tonight against anybody in the back. He's gone through a couple losses lately. He wants to try to avenge it. Doug Basham comes out. A man attempting to make his name as the #1 contender for the United States Championship, currently held by MVP. As he is termed, he's coined the term mid-tell Vontavious Porter. Doug Basham goes into the tables match with Sabu and puts Sabu through a table.
I like to think, because I think this is funny for Doug's character, that it's very fluky. Like, Sabu's set up for a superplex, and Doug just, pushes him. And he's like, oh yeah, I did it! And now he can, brag about it for a couple of weeks. I put Sabu through a table. But it was, it's quite fluky.
Doug Basham wins.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Backstage, Crystal Marshall stands by with SmackDown's newest tag team duo, Deuce, Domino, and Cherry, I guess it is.
I'm also here.
That's what she sounds like, is it? Wow. Damn.
Yeah. That's my Cherry voice. That's my...
Yeah, Deuce and Domino, they're from the other side of the tracks, you know what I mean? And over there, we don't do much talking. But what we do is crack them in the mouth.
Sorry, Deuce, but you said doo-doo.
It's not that funny.
Oh, sorry.
Because what I do is I ball up my fist real tight, and I crack you in the mouth. And maybe Deuce will crack you in the mouth too. Wait, was I Deuce or was I Domino? I don't fucking know. They're both calling each other Deuce. That'd be so funny. I don't know which it's supposed to be which. But yeah, we're here not to do any talking, but to crack you in the mouth and win tag team gold, because that's what we're supposed to do, I guess, in this line of work. I don't know. My dad was in waste management.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the waste management community.
The real heroes of society.
Yep.
We got to a shack in the middle of a fucking forest.
We're here.
A man with long hair emerges from an outhouse, and he's got papers in his hand. And he looks very urgent. He goes into the big cabin, knocks open the door, and he says, "Festus, I got some news, boy." And this fucking hulk of a man like sits up in this bed, like we don't really see who it is, and then suddenly we get this look of just this absolute giant monster. And Jesse says, "Do you know how to get to the West Coast?" I don't. Maybe we could take a cow, and then screen goes black, and like a wooden board can swing down that says Jesse and Festus coming soon.
Hell yeah.
Taz.
Earlier today, I got to sit down with one of my best friends, Nat Hart. She's proposed a women's tournament, and I'm a little bit skeptical. But here's what she had to say about it. And yeah, she's going to talk about how now that all of the wackiness is out of the way here on SmackDown's women's division, that she's excited to get back to work, about proving how women's wrestling is just as legitimate as men's wrestling.
Nat Hart pauses for a moment, and then resumes talking. It's like, "Sorry, I felt something."
Okay. And so she's really excited.
You don't know what I'm doing. That's fine. No worries.
I don't really. I know there are things that are being left unsaid here that I'm happy to explore. But actually, go on. Just do you want to explain what you're talking about?
Nat Hart, I think she said this before actually on screen.
Yeah, okay, I think I know where you're going.
The evil is gone, but there's still something here. She's like one of those people on like TV, like hunt ghosts. There's something here, definitely. It's angry. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I think she can conclude with she's really excited for the who's going to show up. You never know.
Yeah, I apologize for cutting
some surprises. No, I think I think it's a good context.
Yeah, it's going to be ideally 6 SmackDown women, 2 women from Raw if we can get them.
I still don't think that's being confirmed. I'm still working on the format.
Yeah.
I still think I want some buys.
Yeah, Taz is like, of course you would want to buy.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean, Taz? I'm a 3 times women's champion. What, you think you're better than me, Taz? You think you're better than me? Would you not take a buy? You'd take a buy. I think this interview's done, Nat.
He closes the book very dramatically. I think this has been good. That's where we'll leave it.
I think we're good, Nat. Yeah, I think we're good. We're cool.
No? Okay. My bad.
All about cool?
He said he was cool. Taz, we come back to the announce table, and Taz says, "Yeah, wasn't that an enriching conversation, Michael?" And Michael's like, "Yeah, I mean, I think I understand a little bit more about this women's tournament, but do we know when it starts?"
Yeah.
And Taz suddenly checks his watch and is like, "Oh, I gotta go, Michael. I gotta get out of here." And Michael Cole's like,
"What?
What the
well, folks, I guess I'm leading SmackDown now. Hello, I'm Michael Cole, the voice of SmackDown."
I like the idea. He's like, "I need a minute here to figure out what I'm doing.
Myself.
Cut to commercial."
Yeah. Let's go to commercial, and we'll be right back with you.
We come back to the Raw rebound as Bobby Lashley on Raw beat the entire New Breed in a 4-on-1 handicap match to become the #1 contender for the WWE title.
Trust me, it's less of a burial than it sounds.
It's like crazy. What do we got next?
Taz is returning.
That we do. Taz comes back. He goes down to the ring. Actually, you had words for this.
I had ideas, but I think you're the Taz guy. So if you could, I'd prefer you take this.
There's a man who's been stuck where he is in life, and he's been trying for so long to break into that next level. And I know that man quite well. That man is Rene Sebastian Dupree, and he's gonna come out here very shortly. And he's going to reintroduce himself to all of you. Somewhere in all of this, something's been forgotten. And it's that Rene Sebastian Dupree is an assassin in the squared circle. This man is as bad as they come. A killer with every meaning of the word. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud honor to present to you Rene Sebastian Dupree. And Rene comes out and he's got a new theme. He's dropped the La Resistance theme after so long. Banger theme, by the way.
Yep.
So good that, yeah, I literally think it could just be used as a singles theme without the fluff and whatnot. But yeah, he's got a new theme. He's got a new attire going on. He's got some new gear. He looks good. He looks motivated. He's ready to fight somebody. And it looks like so is Chavo Guerrero.
Viva la raza. Chavito Heat. It's Mr. Money in the Bank.
It's an impromptu banger, ladies and gentlemen. Rene Sebastian Dupree, Chavo Guerrero. Bragging rights, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work, everybody. Good work. Yeah, we do real good stuff here.
And yeah, these two have a close clash filled with respect and sort of gritty mat wrestling as two of the very best in the biz right now at this style clash. But in the end, it is Ultra Instinct RSD who picks up the win. Oh, wait, hold on, Tucker.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Renee's... I am actually genuinely confused. Is Renee a face or a heel?
I believe on paper Renee's a face.
And Taz is a heel?
I think so.
Okay, I'm still confused, but I'm a little less confused now.
I'm also confused, but don't worry about it.
Reminder for Chavo, by the way, since we're seeing him here in another banger, because I don't know if I think this has been said on the SMEs, but he made it very clear again last week that his plan with Money in the Bank is to wait till WrestleMania 24, cash it in, main event, redeem WrestleMania 22, and become the World Heavyweight Champion. Finish the story.
We cut to MVP. Was backstage, and he says that he saw what Doug Basham did earlier tonight. Thinks it's an attempt to prove himself. You know what I mean? He thinks it's an attempt for Doug to really show MVP what he's made of. But that doesn't mean anything. What MVP
I'm an expert in fluke victories. If anyone...
As an expert in fluke victories, that's an awesome line. As an expert in fluke victories, I know one when I see one. Doug, you didn't win a match. You pushed a man through a piece of furniture.
People call you the Bash Man. As far as I'm concerned, you're the Mid Man.
Yeah, that's the good bit where he reuses the thing and he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing with it.
Tucker, I think the cage is lowering. I think it's time for our main event.
Oh shit! We like push MVP off the interview area. We're done with you, bro. We're done. We got big boys now.
So, WrestleMania, Undertaker wins. Last man standing, it's a draw. Tucker, who's your money on and why?
In a cage.
It's gotta be Batista, right? He's a caged animal.
The Undertaker is taller. If it comes to a climbing out of the cage scenario, which, I'll be honest, I don't think either of these guys are going to try to go for, right? Both these guys are good men.
I disagree. I disagree. I think they're competitors. I think they know that they are perfectly matched. These are two men who are very, very similar in level of ability. We've seen that at Last Man Standing. We saw that at WrestleMania. The only reason why Taker had the edge at WrestleMania is because that was his yard. Tonight, I think we're going to find out that one-on-one in a straight-up wrestling match, neither of these men can put each other away. And I think they want the world title so badly that we're going to see them try to escape the cage. And you're right. The height might be the advantage Taker needs to pick up the win.
Here we go.
And they do indeed try to escape the cage. But once again, it ends in a draw. And like I was saying to Tucker in the booking of this match, as we say from time to time, I actually just really like the real version of this match. So I just go and watch that if you want a little bit more detail as to what happens here. But
Yeah, I think
These
our
two men go
version
to
had
war.
to be much shorter, didn't it? Or at least
I don't think it was much shorter, but I think it was shorter. I didn't
Fair
check
play.
in the end how long it was. But yeah, we'll just take the high points. These two go to war. Bombs from the start is the phrase Tucker used in the booking.
Yep.
And yeah, they get beaten up, bruised, bloodied, and eventually they realize, yeah, actually, hold on, I guess we're destined to do this forever. Batista wants the world title. So it turns into which man can escape the cage first. And after a little bit of deliberation, both their feet hit the floor at the same time.
At the same time.
That's SmackDown. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this show, you can go ahead and check out some more of our VODs over on Matt Stewart VODs. Why? I'm sure they'll have another match at SummerSlam, Tucker. That's what this is really.
I'll have to pay for that, though. God damn it. It's not even going to be on .com.
Let's just wrap up this show, and then we can get to the... Oh, shit! That's not the baddest man on the planet, Ken Shamrock?
He's been gone for a few months now. We haven't seen him since his stuff with Gregory Helms really just kind of flared out.
Yeah. But he's still the baddest man on the planet, and apparently he's calling his shot as he comes down and he lights up the Undertaker, already battered and bruised from the steel cage, and he beats him into a bloody pulp in the middle of the ring. Ken Shamrock has just sent out a statement to end off SmackDown here.
As he's doing so, he's about to leave, and the world title's on the mat.
A harrowing picture of what Ken Shamrock might have been after. So like I was saying, you can go ahead and check out Matt Steyr VODs, twitch.tv/MattSudara. If you enjoyed this show, there's more SmackDown to come, and we'll hopefully be back with Raw in a couple of weeks' time.
I feel like Shamrock Taker will be good. You know what I mean? Like it's
It's exciting. It's unique.
We could do a lot of striking stuff with that, and I feel like both of them. I mean, Taker's. What do you think about Taker's strikes?
I think he's the best striker in the business.
He's the best pure striker in the game. Yeah.
WWE, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. That's
so. But maybe we're heading towards Shamrock Taker Batista, because Batista's still got unfinished business. Either way, it's something you're gonna have to find out on twitch.tv/MattSudara.
Phenom versus Fighter versus Animal. Anyone?
Oh.
Wait.
Viva la raza!
Okay, I'm a little confused.
My God. No way.
He said
no way.
He was gonna hold out till WrestleMania. He's coming to check on the.
He's a Guerrero, Michael. He lies.
He handed it.
He lies.
He handed it to the bell. The bell has rung. Oh
no! Chavo Guerrero said he was going to redeem it. Maybe he will redeem it. He's not been given this opportunity. He's taking his moment tonight.
Bell rings. Chavo goes right into a cover. 1, 2, and
Taker sits up.
Yeah, sits up out of the pin.
Chavo panicking, just kicks him in the chest.
Fuck.
Just kicks him in the chest. He falls down. Chavo's like, what do I do? He goes to the top rope, pauses, frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Redemption. Now, redemption or robbery? Not this way, Chavo, surely.
Any win's a win.
He did it. Chavo Guerrero is the world heavyweight champion.
Chavo Guerrero has beaten The Undertaker.
He did in 3 seconds what Batista couldn't do in 3 months.
Wow. Batista really sucks.
And where does Ken Shamrock fit in all of this?
At the fish processing plant. Do I need to show credits?
We can. I mean, we should. I mean, why not?
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you to all our patrons. Yeah.
I would have cut it at a joke or something if I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't have any jokes, so instead,
should we end off with the world title on screen? Because I feel like we do that occasionally here on the TVs, and I think, yeah, that's a good image to finish it off.
That is a good image. Okay, see you around.